He said to watch True Heel Heat now! Right now!
Hello, this is RJ City, and I am ethically opposed to any more wrestling podcasts. I don't know why you guys are talking about wrestling. It is a niche product. It is a very small industry. Yet, at this point, there's more wrestling podcasts than there are wrestlers. There is something wrong with society as a whole, but as you get smaller and smaller into wrestling, and then the wrestling podcast sphere, it gets even worse. And one such example, if I may turn on the microscope and look at the drudgery that happens to be True Heel Heat, SP3, Sid, this is your fault.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3, and we are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube and Twitch for our AEW x NJPW Forbidden Door 2026 preview. Breaking down this Sunday show from San Jose, California, where championship gold will be on the line, promotion supremacy will be on the line, and a ticket to Wembley Stadium and the main event of All in London is also on the line. And to break it all down, to give their predictions on this Sunday's huge show, I am joined by an all-star panel here today. First up, she is here for all the pay-per-view and PLE previews here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. You know her from coexisting with Rob on Fightful Overbooked. The one and only Maggie is here. How you doing, Maggie?
Hi, guys. I'm so glad to be here. How am I doing? Okay. First of all, hi. I hate the summer. It's hot, it's humid, it's sticky. There are mosquitoes everywhere. I have low blood pressure and I have a huge problem with the heat. Not only that, but I have sun allergies. So you have to, understand how, awful this time of year is for me. But like I was thinking about it, that me hating it will make it go away, right? It's here to stay. It's not going to go away. So I decided to do what's best and sit down and rewatch DOC.
Very nice. Very nice choice.
And yeah, because this is a wonderful way to remind myself that there is an awesome summer,
Yes.
Yes. And because SP3 and I talk a lot about DOC, we actually had, rundowns and, we had podcasts talking about DOC. Because it's a favorite show of ours. it's unbelievable how every time I sit down and rewatch it, I remind myself just how big of a bitch Marissa is.
Yes, I agree.
I think we all can agree that she's the worst character, man. She just sucks so much. But like this time, for the first time, I find myself, because I feel like every time I watch it, I realize something different, for the characters.
Yeah.
I'm really mad at Seth.
Oh, Seth is a pretty big dick after like
He's
season
a
1.
douchebag. He's a douchebag. Because like I'm on season 2 right now, and Seth and Summer were kind of on a break, and then he went on spring break, ate a bunch of whipped cream off of the body of some Bible chick.
Nice.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, and then he kissed her in order to get a cherry from her mouth, but he's the good guy, right? And then he came back, and then Summer tried to make him quit the comic book, which is his dream. And I'm like, why am I mad at Summer now? It's like, it's his dream. It's something that he absolutely wants to do. And she tried to sabotage it. And I'm like, you bitch. Like, what is happening to my OC, favorite, character? I mean, Sandy Cohen, that's the guy. Sandy.
Still the GOAT.
Yeah, still the GOAT. Still the GOAT. Although he did try to, with his Rebecca chick.
Yeah, that was a little suspect. That was a little suspect.
Yeah,
Julie Cooper, also the GOAT. Also the GOAT. Best redemption arc.
Julie Cooper-Nickel.
Julie Cooper-Nickel. Absolutely.
Julie Cooper-Nickel. But like, Rebecca is the whore. Sandy's not. It's not his fault. She's a whore. Okay. But how are you guys doing?
Well, we got our third member of the team who's sitting here from California and like very confused on what the hell we're talking about. The one and only main man from Dirt Sheet Radio, John Escudero, is here. How you doing, John?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't have any OC related antics to share, unfortunately, but I mean, I'm all right.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Yes, we appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. You can also sound off in the comments down below. You can hit the hype button as well if you're watching us on demand. And if you're with us live, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you, hear your thoughts on this Sunday's big show, AEW Forbidden Door. And of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel in the best way possible, you can do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we always appreciate the support. We got Clown in the chat joining us today saying good morning, everyone. We got Zach letting us know that it's National Food Truck Day.
I didn't know that.
Did not know that. I'll go see. I'll go outside and see if there's a food truck. Show my support.
Food trucks have to be one of the most American thing in the world.
It's the best. You can't regulate it. I don't want to know what's going on health-wise. Just serve it to me and I'll just keep moving.
I don't want to see what's going on back there. No. We got a bunch of love in the chat. Everybody's excited for the busy wrestling weekend. And of course, some thoughts and prayers to Joe Doering, who is just announced as passing away to start the day. We'll talk more about that on the flagship podcast tomorrow for sure. But yes, it's the busiest wrestling weekend since WrestleMania, as we have WWE Night of Champions tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time. That's starting. Then on Sunday, there's 3 big shows. You got TNA Slammiversary starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. You got NXT, the Great American Bash, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then AEW Forbidden Door starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Maggie, are you excited or annoyed by how much wrestling is going on this weekend?
Of course I'm annoyed. Like, are you kidding? Like, we don't get any pay-per-views for like a month and then bam, here's 4. Granted, I will not be watching TNA. I will see, the results and everything. The stupid thing is like this is weird. If you're watching wrestling and if you're up to track with everything, that it's better to watch TNA than NXT, right? I mean, I feel like that's common knowledge. Explain to me why I'm doing this to myself. I'm watching Great American Bash, but I'm not watching TNA.
Because NXT has actually been better than TNA as of late.
I was gonna give you that. Slowly but surely, NXT is finding an identity for itself with all these new.
Okay, like have. The bar is in hell then.
But for sure, the bar is in hell. That goes without saying. Like, you're comparing shit to like a shit sandwich. That one has bread.
It has bread. Not just shit. You're not just eating shit. You get bread too.
But did you die?
Did you die though? I know it tasted horrible, but did you die?
Yeah.
But yes, we've already previewed all the 3 other shows. So this is our final preview for this busy wrestling week. So of course, as always with our pay-per-view previews, give me your hype level, your anticipation level for this Sunday's big show from 0 to 10. Maggie.
I feel like I'm at a solid 7 for the show. I mean, it is a Saturday night show, which means
Sunday night.
I mean Sunday. Sorry, it is a Sunday because there's 4 of them. Okay, like that's
understand.
So it's a Sunday show, which is what I'm. One of the few that actually prefers Sunday shows before because of the time difference, I get to watch it on Monday morning before work. So this is better for me. But this show doesn't feel Forbidden Door-y.
No.
Because I feel like the only match that is actually Forbidden Door is Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kenny Omega. I don't know, like this could have been a big Dynamite.
I wouldn't go that far, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but like, don't call it Forbidden Door then. Like, I don't, I don't understand.
It's forbidden visas.
Yeah, there you go. Like that is the thing. And I'm kind of mad at the fact that, we're about to get Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. and we only got Zack Sabre Jr. to say 8 words. 8 words. And because I'm a huge Zack Sabre Jr. girl, I'm kind of offended about that. Because like it's probably one of the few Forbidden Door match actually on this show. And he just said, try not to get a hospital love. And I'm like, but it's still not enough.
I would be more offended about that if he wasn't getting buried every single time Kenny Omega had a microphone in his hand.
Yeah.
Kenny just spent this whole build burying Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, and he did nothing. People are gonna forget about you just like they did last year. And I'm like,
I was like, okay, I guess that's how we're building this matchup. But yeah, what about you, John? 0 to 10, where's your hype level at?
Normally I'd probably say 7. I'm gonna give it an 8 because I'm gonna be doing media and I'm excited for that. But 7 is probably the objective number.
Yeah, I think like AEW, the quality of AEW pay-per-views like stops me from ever going below a 7. Yeah. I probably because of the consistency and the quality of their pay-per-views in 2026 so far, I'll probably go as far as like 7.5, get right in the middle. Because I think if it had just a fine build-up, I wasn't the biggest fan of the build-up to Double or Nothing, but it was fine enough that I was at the hype level of like an 8. I think that it's kind of been unanimous, or at least the majority of AEW fans haven't been enthused with the build up to Forbidden Door, which is kind of the standard at this point. We've seen now 1, 2, 3, 4 different Forbidden Door shows before this Sunday show, and I think only one of the builds was actually good.
I would like to change my answer.
Yeah.
I would like to add half a point just because there's no Big Boom AJ match.
Well, there you go.
Take away half a point.
Yeah. Take away a half a point for that.
No.
But yeah, I just think that AEW has not figured out like how to build to one of these shows, and it's really started on the whole discussion. It kind of started last year, but I think that most people were still riding off of the high of All In, and the card was still pretty decent for last year's show, and plus it was 17,000 at the Hold 2 in London. This year, a lot of those factors that stop people from complaining about Forbidden Door are not there. The ticket sales are down. They're only at like 7,500 going into Sunday's show. The whole concept of Forbidden Door has kind of been lost, where there's only like 4 matches that is like in New Japan, or on the main card at least, AEW versus New Japan, or AEW versus Stardom, or AEW versus CMLL on this card, and that's only half of the card has that kind of theme to it. So I just think that maybe they need to figure out a new name, and maybe we only make Forbidden Door like bi-yearly. I know that it's been pretty much like a draw as far as like show title names in the past, but this year showed that it's not the same draw that it once was.
Yeah, we don't. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't agree with the idea that there shouldn't be a Forbidden Door. I know a lot of people are like, well, they should just get rid of it. And I'm just like, that's dumb.
No, just make it better.
Yeah, I will give them that. There's a lot of technical and political reasons why things tend to get difficult with this show. Some people can't lose. Some people can't be used. Some people can't make it into the country. Whatever the case may be, it's usually hard to put one of these together. So I will always give you that. But with a company like this one, where they very openly, publicly, and highly celebrate the fact that they have so many partnerships, that there has to be a festival show once a year. You got to figure it out. I don't know if that means changing when it takes place, or figuring out how to deal with the president, get it, you know, because that's kind of the big deal this year. It's like, you got a shit president doing shit things and fucking up a lot of international situations. So wrestling's like the bottom of the fucking ladder. Who cares about your wrestling visa? But
during the World Cup.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So yeah, it's hard enough as it is. But I don't agree with the idea that there shouldn't be a Forbidden Door, because I've seen a lot of that talk. There's like a lot of that talk leading into the show. Like, you should just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. And I was like, oh, relax. You took it too far. But there are definitely
like
things that can
me
be
personally,
worked on.
I think they should just take a year. Like, don't do one in 2027. Bring it back in 2028 to see if there's like a fan kind of like interest or need for the show. Take it away from them to see how much they will miss it. That's what I think they should.
You take it away, and then 2028 comes, and you find out that, oh fuck, we can't get any of the Japanese guys again. So it's like it's all the fucking. It's just all about somehow balancing this shit out and making it work. I don't know how. I'm thankful that it's not my job. Like I would hate to have this job. June would make me sick. I gotta figure this shit out now. It's Forbidden Door season. I gotta talk with all these other bookers. I gotta figure out who's able to lose, who's able to look good, who's able to look bad. I'm surprised at the amount of people that do take losses on shows like this, because it used to be where any show like this would just be full of tag matches and there's always a dude on the team who you know is going to take the pin because he just has shit going on.
That's basically like you could just take you could throw a dart and you land on a New Japan show in 2026. That's how most of their shows go. It's multi-man matches where there's one guy on each team that very obviously is there to take the fall.
CMLL figured this shit out. They had one. They had like separate ones. They have like a Japanese one in October where they figured out where they can have people come over to Mexico. And,
yeah, they got Lucha Kingdom coming up in November.
Yeah.
We got Dion who says, I think Forbidden Door could change the concept every year. Like 1 year, it's AEW versus NJPW, AEW versus CMLL, AEW versus US indie promotions. Open invitation to the best across the world.
It doesn't need to be only US indie promotion. Just go ahead and take Rev Pro talent. I mean, like, you did make Forbidden Door in England last year because of, stuff. But, like, take Rev Pro people. Like, I'm a huge fan of Rev Pro, ever since I, attended a show.
I think the issue is that these companies don't really have any stars that are, like, considered like draws outside of like CMLL with Mystico. New Japan doesn't really have that one guy that's considered a draw on their roster. Neither does most like US indie promotions. Most US indie promotions that are over or known, they use talent from all over the world and talent that work in like an AEW, an MLW, a TNA that don't really belong to them. So I think that that's a cool concept in your head, but in execution, you're gonna learn that these people aren't interested in seeing Joey Janela back in AEW, or these people aren't interested in seeing Effie and Atticus Kogar go against AEW talent. No, because they're not really known. They're known in these particular places that GCW goes to. And I'm just naming GCW because they're the biggest US indie promotion. But I like these guys. I'm a big fan of Atticus Kogar. I'm a big fan of Effie and what he represents in the independent wrestling promotion. Even someone like a Nick Gage. When Nick Gage came on AEW television, for us who know him, it was like, wow, great. This is amazing. For the casual fans that watch AEW, they're like, who the fuck is this guy? Why does he look like that?
Yeah,
but like it's back in the day when Eddie Kingston made his debut in AEW, challenging Cody for the TNT Championship, and look what impact he did.
Yeah,
not talking about whatever the fuck he's doing now, but like it's
I just want when it comes to these super shows, these pay-per-views like this, why are we running them in like secondary, tertiary towns like fucking San Jose? It sounds nice, but it's like third rate. Like you're talking about under San Francisco, the big hub, or Los Angeles, or Sacramento, or something. Or like when you're doing a super show, why are we running it in fucking Iowa? Like they do shit like this sometimes.
I was very surprised when San Jose was announced as the city, because this is not a place that AEW usually goes for especially a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's the big, like, you figure you want 10K, you don't run St. Louis for the show. Like I mean, St. Louis is a good wrestling town, but we give them TV first, like I don't know.
He must have really liked that TV he did earlier this year.
It's just for Dave. We're doing Forbidden Door in San Jose for Dave Meltzer. We wanted him to be in attendance or whatever. Cool guy.
Why did you have to say that?
Brooklyn Blake say make Forbidden Door similar to what TNA used to do with the World Cup concept. They could still use this to prove the organizations that's tied to my AEW. Anyway, I could get a low-key versus speedball match.
Listen, if low-key, if they were able to work with low-key at any point, like they would probably sign him. The thing about low-key is that you can't, it's hard to work with him, period. I fucking love low-key. Like he was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up. Like he was on the same level to me as Brian and Nigel. I was like, it was him, Brian, Nigel, and low-key. Those are like my guys. Low-key is a fucking I can't even use the word that I think of low key, like getting kicked off of fucking YouTube, because he takes himself very seriously, okay? And then that screwed him over. Like, we'll never see him on AEW TV, and it's his own fault.
I agree.
By the way, New Japan fans to this day, like it's been like 7 years now, to this day blame AEW for New Japan not having marquee wrestlers and wrestlers who draw, because they took them all away. And I'm like, okay, so maybe New Japan can book their talent better. I don't know. Like,
Maybe it shouldn't take 3 years to push someone like Yota Tsuji. I don't know. Maybe there's people like this channel that were up here saying Yota Tsuji should have won the title when he came back to New Japan, not 3 years fucking later.
They made him fail.
It's
first.
like the Santana thing with TNA and the Joe Hendry thing with TNA. Like, they always screw things up. They stop blaming other companies for the lack of interest in yours. It's so much better to point the finger at someone else, man. Seriously. And we're not in kindergarten anymore. Like, we're grown-ass people.
I think with the New Japan fans that blame AEW, they are under this weird assumption that if AEW didn't sign those guys would still be in New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is such a flawed assumption, because the alternative is they would have signed with WWE. And then you never see them again. We're still waiting. There was the whole controversy ahead of Wrestle Kingdom this year, where people were still complaining of the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura wasn't able to be a part of Tanahashi's final matchup. You're still got people that are like, oh, I would love to see Finn Balor back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. You're not getting any of those because there wasn't an AEW around. They went with WWE.
It's the fan base is kind of, pro wrestling fan base doesn't think in layers. They're not thinking beyond the just idea that a guy left from New Japan to AEW. They're not thinking of how it could have ended up otherwise. How did we get here? Why is that guy here? He's just here. Guys from New Japan keep going to AEW. You're killing AEW. That's why it's like I don't even have the conversation anymore. I used to really get involved. Like, what are you talking about? Okada would simply be at WWE right now, and you would never see him again. You would not have had the Tanahashi match. Like, is that not clear to you? Because it's not clear to them. If they weren't able to just see that, then what's the point of having a conversation with you? That's very easy. That's 2 + 2. If you can't even do 2 + 2, why am I talking multiplication with you?
It's true. It's very true. But let's get into this show, because we got 11 matches announced. So
Jesus
pretty
fucking Christ.
Pretty much the whole card has been announced. There's 2 for the buy-in, 9 matches on the main card. We're going to start with the buy-in here, as the newest match added to the lineup was announced by Tony Khan during the conference call, as it will be the final Survival of the Fittest qualifying match. The Survival of the Fittest will take place on Wednesday, July 1st edition of AEW Dynamite, to determine the winner of the vacant TBS championship, as we have Sky Blue of Triangle of Madness going up against STARDOM's MAIKA. So another AEW versus Stardom matchup on the lineup. Sky Blue recently lost in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament to Maya World. Meanwhile, MAIKA has been one of the top stars for Stardom, a former World of Stardom champion, a former 5-star Grand Prix winner. She's trying to work her way back into singles title contention in Stardom, and now she comes to AEW to see if she can earn the right at a shot at the TBS championship. Maggie, who you got? MAIKA versus Sky Blue.
Okay, so first of all, MAIKA in Bulgarian means mother. Second of all, this is I don't understand. This Survival of the Fittest match is shaping out to be really babyface heavy. I mean, like, the only heel in this match is Hikaru Shida. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that MAIKA is a babyface in Stardom, because I'm not familiar with. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So I don't know. Do I pick Sky Blue just so we can have one more heel on on this match, or do I go with MAIKA? I'm gonna say Sky Blue. I'm a Sky Blue fan. I'm sorry. Like, for me, she has to be way more pushed. I don't understand why she's not. I don't know. I feel like her and Julia can go after the tag titles for real. You know, but yeah, I'm gonna pick Sky Blue. Not, I'm grossly unfamiliar with Stardom. I know this is a huge flaw, but yeah, I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but yeah.
I'm going with MAIKA for the win. I think that this is a purposeful of Hikaru Shida being the only heel in the TBS title, Survival of the Fittest. She's my pick right now to win that Survival of the Fittest, but I think that Stardom needs to get a victory on this show because I don't see them getting a victory in the other matchup with AEW talent. So I'll go with MAIKA here. John?
I like MAIKA a lot. I also think she's sort of on the downhill side of her time in Stardom right now. So I think she's here because she can take the loss. It's kind of shit, but she's a great wrestler. She's been on top right now in Stardom. She's sort of middling, but she's set to be in the 5-star Grand Prix, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even think she's gonna be around on Wednesday, let alone.
I think she's been in the US for a while.
That's what
she was a part of.
Go back home.
No, she don't get 5-star Grand Prix. Don't start to the end of July. What are we talking about?
Why did I think it was going to start in the beginning of July? I thought it was like next week. I was like, well, get the fuck out of here.
It starts after the G1.
But yeah, I still think she's taking a loss. One, like she mentioned earlier, there's too many baby faces in the match. They're gonna need another heel. It's an elimination match. And two, like I said earlier, MAIKA is she's able to take a pinfall. That was the thing that stuck out to me right now. I like Sky Blue too, but I also think Sky Blue sometimes in high pressure situations, Sky Blue underperforms, and it's like damn, I don't know how many more of these we can give you.
But that's the thing. If you give her opportunity, she will grow, and those sorts of things will stop happening. Because, like we discussed previously, AEW doesn't have it doesn't have a performance center. It doesn't have an NXT type of show, just so they can grow. They do have Ring of Honor, but I don't want to consider Ring of Honor as a I want to consider it as a.
He definitely is.
I know. Okay, yeah, I know. And watching Ring of Honor is insanely insufferable because watching it, you realize that Tony Khan is actually capable of booking a women's division. He just chooses not to on AEW. So this is what's the frustrating part. But yeah, like for me, if you get pushed into high pressure situations more frequently, at some point you just develop that sense of professionalism. Like, I don't know.
Like she's got to practice that code blue. Sometimes she bounces up on that shit and slips right off and it fucks the whole ending of the match. That has happened several times.
It has happened. Yeah.
Two things I want to say that I didn't mention before. The build up to Forbidden Door, like I said, like most people have said, I haven't liked it too much. The one big thing that I think they got right in this build up is this felt like the first build up for a pay-per-view that the woman felt like an active and good part of the build to this pay-per-view. And I like that fact. Two, MAIKA, yes, is on the downhill, but she's a former World of Stardom champion, a former 5-star Grand Prix winner. I like Sky Blue as much as John and Maggie and all of you. She is not good enough to beat a former World of Stardom champion. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to be the one to say that. She's not good enough. She's not high enough. She's not pushed enough to beat someone who's a former World of Stardom champion. And we're basically just inviting Stardom to lose some matches because they ain't winning the other one. So what are we doing here?
don't get me wrong. I'd like to see MAIKA win. I would prefer to see MAIKA win. It just makes for the better match. I just don't see it, but I would like to.
And yeah, and you made a good point about the whole ROH and stuff. It should be rebranded as a developmental. I literally was asking this question 3 years ago, and I got told by people that work in AEW, they was like, well, just relax, they're just getting it together. Right now it's this, but in the future it'll be that. And here we are 3 years in the future, and it's still that.
I would give them that. There's a lot more unknown younger people coming in, people who aren't signed, people on like pay per appearance deals who they're testing out on Ring of Honor. It doesn't feel like they've locked down the developmental format yet. Like it doesn't feel like there's a ladder, but recently it feels like they made at least a stride. My thing with these people that don't get the experience is you got all these partnerships. Send them the fuck away. Send Skye Blue to fucking Japan. Like just send her ass to Japan for a tour. Like you got all these, there wasn't always developmental centers, like there wasn't always an NXT. Like this is a fairly new concept. It's the last decade we've had something like that. So like there was other ways to develop before. They would partner with smaller territories and send wrestlers down there.
I totally agree with you. Like you got a team like Skyflight who have pretty much been in ROH since Tony Khan bought the brand, and he hasn't even had them sniff the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. You telling me in the past 3 years he couldn't send them to best for the Super Junior Tag League in New Japan Pro Wrestling, or send them for a whole tour of CMLL? Commander and Beast Mortos have visa issues, and they've been killing it in CMLL and keeping their names out there.
Every week, Commander's out there just fucking murder. Like he's basically one of the stars down there right now.
Yeah, look at someone like taken outside of AEW. Someone like El Phantasmo. No, El Phantasmo. The last week he had that killer matchup with Ospreay on Dynamite. He had a killer match with Cavanario at the Fantastica Mania show. And then this past week, he had a great tag team match in the main event of Arena Mexico. He's done more to increase his name value than he's done in the first 6 months of the year in New Japan.
Everyone, please explain the ELP hate.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I think it's mostly people who think he looks like Logan Paul, and I'm just like, okay, I don't get it because I've seen ELP for 7 years now.
I haven't experienced the hate myself, so I can't really speak on it. I've only ever seen, it's ELP. He had cancer once. He came back. It's cool. It's great. We don't usually boo the people who came back from cancer. What are we doing, guys?
It's weird because ELP has been around in wrestling for way more than Logan Paul.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why are we doing this? Like,
I don't get it. I don't get the ELP hate, but I also do a weekly show with a casual AEW fan, and he just says, "Oh, El Phantasmo does nothing special. He does everything that everybody else does." That's
you
what
don't know him. You don't know him, and I don't want to hear you speak on him.
That's what I felt like saying yesterday, but we got the other.
You don't know his life.
We got the other buy-in matchup here. Another one from the women's division for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships is going to be Divine Dominion, Megan Bayne and Lena Cross defending against Thunder Rosa and CMLL's own Olympia. Thunder Rosa issued the challenge to Divine Dominion on this past week's Collision, said that she can get a friend from CMLL since she's a dual contract star to come with her to Forbidden Door to challenge for the gold. Divine Dominion didn't back down and told them that they better pray to their gods that they don't meet hell when they go against them. And Olympia was the choice of Thunder Rosa. And if you've seen Olympia before, I would say you know what to expect, but if you haven't, just go out of your way to watch Olympia versus Megan Bayne from earlier this year. This is gonna be some fun. So, Maggie, who you got here?
Yes, you're right that this is gonna be a fun match, but I think this is the easiest match to predict on the card. Divine Dominion retained the championships.
Yeah, unlike the last matchup, there's not going to be any split here. I think we all are going for Divine Dominion. John?
Double D's taking the win. Yes, they are. I said Thunder Rosa gave me that name. I'm never not using that again. I was like, how did I not think of it myself? It's incredible. But yeah, Divine Dominion taking the win. I'm glad that we get to see Olympia on AEW pay-per-view. I love Olympia. She's fucking beast. I mean, her build is insane. Like, she should be on American TV more often. Americans love jacked people.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. She had a good matchup with Deonna Purrazzo on ROH Global Wars Night 2 yesterday as well. So looking forward to seeing Olympia, and I'm very looking forward to her stepping in the ring with Megan Bayne again. I still have dreams of that matchup that they had in Arena Mexico back in March. All right, let's get into the main card now, and we're going to start off with another co-promotional matchup on the card, as we got the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, going up against Unbound Company, Teton and Shingo Takagi of New Japan Pro Wrestling, facing CMLL's own El Skye team, Mystico and Mascara Dorada. Of course, we know Mystico and Dorada are dual contract stars. The Young Bucks, meanwhile, have been on the path back to the AEW World Tag Team Championships after losing their matchup against FTR back at Revolution, whereas Unbound Co. are gearing up. You got Shingo gearing up for the G1 Climax tournament, while Teton recently made his return to CMLL. This one just has all the makings of just basically no build, but it's gonna be a banger. This was basically a matchup that Tony Khan came up with because he knows that it's gonna rock, and he knows the fans are gonna eat it up in San Jose. But I'm going with the Young Bucks. John?
I gotta go with the Young Bucks. They've got what I assume is something big coming over the summer. They can use the win. However, there's a small caveat that I don't know if it's going to affect the way I'm thinking of how this match is going to go, because Mystico and Mascara Dorada have a Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship opportunity on Friday. And I don't know about you, but I am pretty damn sure that neither Mystico nor Mascara Dorada is going to be taking a pinfall from Sammy Guevara or Beast Mordos on this night.
I think they'll probably come in ROH World Tag Team Champion.
So, like, are the belts going to be on the line on this show? And if they are, what are we, like, the Young Bucks don't need the damn Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. You know, like, what are we doing? And also, Mystico and Mascara Dorada losing right after they win is kind of weird. So, like, it really depends on whether the titles are on the line or not. That's kind of like what I'm thinking how this match is going to go. If there's no belts on the line, I'm going to give it to the Bucks. If there's belts on the line, it could still be the Bucks, but I would go Mystico and Dorada pinning fucking Teton or something and retaining. But I'll just assume I'll lock in on Bucks for now.
Maggie?
I'm also locked in on the Bucks, even though the belts may be on the line. They sure as hell they're not going to be on the line, because it doesn't make any sense, because we already have Bandido versus Moxley. And if we copy paste that principle, why isn't that title for title? Because Bandido just never defends that championship this year at all. So why do it now? Yeah.
I'm so mad they haven't taken the belt off of him. Like, come on, man.
For real, like, it's just like, this is just kind of a thing that's keeping them anchored to ROH at this point.
Why though? Like, it's they brought back Brodito for a week, and I'm like, oh, cool. They brought back some a tag team that everyone loves. Psych. It was for one match, just so he can challenge backstage Moxley for the championship. And I'm like, what? This is the wrestling equivalent of just the tip. Okay, so you gave us just for and then you take it away. Like, sure, way to go. So no, I'm picking the Bucks here because I feel like they need to have momentum towards the match. No one from the company is talking about, but we all are. So if we're all thinking about the match, it must mean that it's gonna happen. The big match at All In, the huge, probably ladder match. With all the tag teams out there. So if they're gonna be a part of that match, they have to have a win under their wing. Also, the thing with the dogs, but the dogs are dealing with Cope and Christian right now. It's a whole
Yeah. I was
it's
gonna
a bit
ask
weird.
about the other team involved in that, FTR, because they recently have been in the news with Cash Wheeler saying that they are taking time off for the first time in over a decade. They don't know when or if they will return to AEW. And of course, there was the news that their contracts were set to expire soon. Do you think that FTR are going to be at All In as of now? Maggie?
Yeah. I'm not a psychic. I don't know if they're, going to be at All In, but I don't think they're going anywhere.
Okay.
That's just my, thing. Because like, what are you going to do? Go back to the company that made you shave each other's backs and, made fun of it? Cuz like, how the hell am I supposed to shave my back if someone doesn't help me? Like, how can you make fun of, bros shaving each other's? Okay, that sounds weird. But like, you get my point. You get my point.
You
Okay?
walked right into that one. You walked right
Okay,
in.
yeah, that's on me.
John, what about you?
I definitely don't see FTR going anywhere. I mean, they've done they pretty much did all they could before they left WWE anyway. That's why they were running in circles, doing bullshit comedy segments. I mean, if you want to go back and do that, then I'm not going to feel bad for you. But I just don't see it. They're always so damn grateful for everything AEW's done for them. And they have something, we're assuming they have something really big right in front of them. It's a good time to take a rest, take 2 months off, reappear right before things kick off. Also, if things go the way we think they're going to go, that tag team division is about to get a pretty big infusion. And I don't think FTR wants to miss out on that.
Yeah, I agree. We got Conrad, who just recently became a member of the channel. Shout outs to him. He says, calling it now, Mystico for the win.
Mystico!
But segueing from one tag team matchup, that's a three-way, to the AEW World Tag Team Championships will be on the line on this Sunday show. Cage and Cope will defend for the first time in their reign against the Dogs. Cage and Cope, of course, beat FTR in an I Quit match at Double or Nothing. Following that, on Dynamite on May 27th, they were set to have a 5-second pose as the new champions. They had the old school of photography as well, but the Dogs came out and attacked both men, laying them out with the shillelagh and then doing the 5-second pose over their bodies. They've been taunting Cage and Cope ever since then. They beat the Young Bucks at the Summer Blockbuster edition of AEW Collision to put no question they were the number one contenders. And then Cage and Cope reappeared on the June 17th edition of AEW Dynamite, issued the challenge for Forbidden Door. On this past week's edition of Dynamite, we saw another brawl between Cage and Cope and the Dogs, with the Dogs coming out on top and David Finlay busting out the old 2001 Christian glasses as they did another 5-second pose over their bodies. Can the Dogs win the gold and uncrown the legends, or will the legendary duo of Cage and Cope continue their reign coming out of San Jose? Maggie?
No, they won't. I mean, I don't know how else to phrase this. I don't think there's any way the Dogs are winning. I'm mad at the way that they've been booked, even ever since Gabe Kidd got injured. Although when he was there, they weren't booked that well anyway. So yeah, this doesn't scream Forbidden Door for me. If you still like to consider the Dogs part of New Japan, that's fine, but like, it's not. But yeah, Cope and Christian retain here. I feel like this is the second easiest match to predict.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think Cage and Cope get the win, but I disagree. I think that this has been the best booking for the Dogs since they got to AEW. They actually have
bar is
distinct
in hell.
characters. No, not even that. I've been very vocal about my complaints about them losing every pay-per-view, but they have shown
That's what I meant.
personality. But they have shown personality in this rivalry that has got them over. I think that if they continue on this path, they found something in this rivalry that they can continue going forward. They come off very much like a younger version of Edge and Christian meets D-Generation X. Like I said, I think it was Jimmy when they did the 5-second pose over Edge and Christian. He was like, they look like two different versions of 90s Shawn Michaels, before the bump and after the bump. So like, yeah, I like the fact that they have gotten something out of this feud, and this feud has done more for them than their first 3-4 months in AEW. Despite all of that, I am going with Cage and Cope, but I think they found something in this feud that they could continue moving forward, the Dogs. John,
that's just so I said, John, I'm sorry for
It's all good.
Cutting, but the thing is, I understand showing personality. That's a huge thing and important if you want to be a wrestler that people can get behind. But like, it doesn't matter how much of a personality you have, people will not be taking you seriously if you just lose all the time. Like, it's different. It's different if you're a babyface, because you just become the adorable babyface. Like Harley Cameron did. She lost a bunch, but like the people loved and adored her, and they rooted for her. It's different when you're a heel, because like, what are you gonna do? Just lose? Just get out of here.
But this is really their introductory months are very akin to Jay White. Jay White was involved in kind of lower card stuff, and he was losing certain stuff that people didn't think he would lose. And then he picked up momentum. He found something where he was able to show his personality more, and then he was able to be kind of solidified as a prominent star on the roster. I think that we're not going to be we shouldn't be complaining about the Dogs' early losses in like 3 to 4 months. These are just the introduction months in AEW, and this is how it goes for everybody pretty much.
I also think that, don't get me wrong, like I like the War Dogs when they were in New Japan. I thought they had a lot going on. I don't think David Finlay ever fell into that top position that they wanted him to be in. And when he came over to AEW, I would not have wanted to see him treated as if he was. So I was okay with rebuilding or trying to act as if you're building it on your own on their TV show. For that, like Sid was saying, though, since Gabe Kidd got injured and they had Finlay and Connors as a tag team, they kind of had the opportunity to be on TV more, which is the first. That's like the biggest. They've got more minutes on television. So that gave them the opportunity to show off who they are, so that people can get behind them. I also think as heels, they have a bit of a shield as far as like lose. Heels are made to lose. Unfortunately, you're the bad guy. You got to take your fucking fall. The good guys got to win here. Not all the time, but being that they're heels, I think that they could take these losses and be okay. If they were like baby faces getting built to big opportunities and then losing every big opportunity they get built to, then I'm like, oh fuck, this is not going to work out. And that happens sometimes with new people in AEW. They'll come in really big and immediately into a world title match, and you're like, you're not fucking winning that. What are you doing? What are we doing after? And then you become
CJ White at Full Gear 2023.
Deonna Purrazzo versus Toni Storm when she first came in, and she's like immediately right into the gutter. So it's like that. Man, you could have got 6 months out of that. If you would have worked a little harder.
What's the name of the doggo? Like, I'm gonna need the name of the doggo.
Oh, Chi-Chi. Yeah.
Chi-Chi.
She loves the name.
Sorry.
We got a super chat donation here from Dion. Thank you so much, Dion, for the support. He says, random thought, do y'all see someone on Team Briscoe get taken out before the match and Hangman returns at Forbidden Door to take the spot?
This real fast. I don't see Briscoe getting taken out, but the idea of Hangman getting re-involved with MJF, I actually came across that 2 days ago in my own mind. Because I'm thinking, for months I've been thinking, what the fuck is MJF going to do if they take that belt off him? You know, like, God, what's he going to do? He's held this company on his back. You can't just put him in some mid-card bullshit. It has to be a fucking marquee match. Even if he's not in the top of, even if he's not in the world title match, it has to be a marquee match. And I'm thinking, he took Hangman's, he took everything that matters to Hangman. He took, and Hangman left. He just didn't even want to be seen anymore. When Hangman returns, I think he's going to want MJF dead. And if MJF has no belt, there'll be nothing holding him back from killing MJF, because I don't have to worry about challenging you for a title. You took everything from me. I started to think that they're going to do a big stiff match or something between them two at All In. Only because I couldn't think of anything else for either of them. And I was oh shit, they go together.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we brought that up when you were on the flagship next. I said like the big two matches that would be for MJF if he's not in the world title, or three actually now, is one, probably this is kind of how I scale it. Like one would be Andrade. That Andrade thing is not going to get paid off on Arena Mexico. And it seems to be something that they're just going to keep spinning that plate until they really need it. And you might really need it if MJF is not in the world title matchup. Then I would say it's Hangman. And the reason why Hangman is in the middle, because I feel like it's the most likely option and it still feels big. But I wouldn't do Hangman coming back for this matchup that really doesn't matter. It makes more sense for Hangman to return next month at Redemption and cost MJF the AEW world title. And then three, the reason why it would be three is because it's the most intriguing, but it's also the most like unlikely. It's Mick Foley.
Yeah. I've been so scared actually that they're going to
I really like the more they do interviews with him and he talks, and I'm just like, they're really about to do Mick Foley. That's the only match to me, knowing some of the stuff that I know from people that I talk to that work in AEW and knowing kind of the mindset of MJF, I kind of feel like he's going to feel kind of slighted if he's not in that main event at All In. The way you appease him and be like, hey, you're not in this, but you got this, is Foley. Foley is the only person that I think MJF would be like, all right, I'm not in this. I'm just going to make this the main event. I'm going to make this the main event with my promos leading into this matchup.
That's why for sure. Whatever he does get at All In, I'm like, it's going to be semi-main or like, one of the big main focuses of the card. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Am I the only one that doesn't want to see MJF versus Mick Foley?
I don't want to see Mick Foley get in the ring. I want to say that out loud. Like, I don't want to see Mick Foley in the ring. I'm just scared for my life that he's going to get in that ring, fucking take one bump and convulse and fucking throw him in the mouth. I'm like, I don't want to see this, please.
So my question to both of y'all, since y'all say y'all don't want to see this, would y'all not watch if it did happen?
I have to watch. It's my job, but I would be watching.
I'm saying, if you were just a fan, you didn't do anything like this, would you watch it despite not wanting to see it?
It would be similar to late era Sting, where he was like, I was like, why is he up there? Like, please get the fuck down. Like, you don't need to do this.
None of us wanted to watch Ric Flair's last match, but we did anyway.
I actually didn't.
Look at that.
Smart man. This is probably the reason why you still want to watch wrestling.
I saw the clip of him. Well, now he claims it was he was working the heart attack, but like I was like,
shut up.
I don't know, man.
You were gonna die.
I almost saw a man die. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
for real.
So, to you guys' point, if actually Hangman returns in this match, this is gonna be the only thing that makes it worthy of being the main event. Having in mind that we have Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kenny Omega and Swerve versus Ospreay on the card. So this will actually make sense for me if Hangman comes back. Because the only reason I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I cannot have both Mark Briscoe and Darby Allin be a part of a fucking main event for AEW. Stop it.
He's gonna get his world title shot on
He's definitely
TV.
getting his
What?
TV
That's why we're
title
doing
shot.
a 6-man here, a 12-man tag here.
I also don't know if this is
care.
closing the show though.
I don't know if it's closing the show either.
It's the main event.
They've done things like this.
They never have said that it's the main event. They said that it's part of the triple main event.
Triple main event. You know how those go.
Triple main event.
Guys,
they've been very
I rolled
precise
so
with that.
hard, I got dizzy.
I would say like they've done matches like this on pay-per-view and where they build it and it's got all the main guys in it and everything, like, and then it ends up being the semi-main because they had a bigger singles match. I still believe Swerve and Ospreay is the main event. I still think they're gonna want to close with Ospreay celebrating. It's a big deal and he's going into All In as the guy. I think that's what you want as your closing shot.
Same. I agree with that. We got for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, Shota Umino will defend against Pac of the Death Riders. Shota Umino won the Global Heavyweight Championship at NJPW Dominion 2026, defeating Andrade El Idolo and Drilla Maloney. Post-match, as Umino was enjoying and celebrating his win, it was Gabe Kidd who made his return to New Japan to attack Shota Umino, laying him out, wearing a Death Riders jumpsuit. He said that he was there to represent the Death Riders, to let Umino know that he was never part of the group, despite him being called the Death Rider, despite him being the protege of Jon Moxley during his time in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He said that he is not a member of the Death Riders, which led to Pac being on a digital exclusive, issuing the challenge to Shooter for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship at Forbidden Door. We'll start with John this time. Who do you think wins this one? And do you like this addition on the card, putting someone else from New Japan Pro Wrestling and defending one of their top titles?
I don't mind this addition at all. I think someone in the Big Man Dogs in the comments said Gabe getting replaced. And that's what I assume happened. Gabe Kidd was unable to get the visa situation fixed. So they went with Pac. This is probably the better out of context wrestling match. Like, if you do Gabe Kidd and Shooter in Japan, I think it's gonna have more heat. It'll have more heat on a New Japan show, and Pac is known more to the fans here, so it's probably gonna work out better for everyone. That being said, Pac is gonna take a loss, which I was thinking back on Pac's career in AEW, and I know he hasn't been like world champion, but he doesn't take many like straight up just losses on pay-per-view. Like they have to, they're rare. So I was like, wow, that really is random. He's just gonna take this loss here. but still, it's gonna be a great match. Shooter had done an interview where he was like, I understand what Tsuji's saying, but I'm the IWGP Global Champion. I should be taking on global contenders or whatever. And I was like, it's fine. Like, I get it. It's all right. I actually don't. I don't actually fully disagree with what Tsuji was saying either. I'm like,
me either.
They bring the belt over to America. They don't give it main event status. Their mid-card guys are challenging for the title. I wouldn't want to bring that shit over either.
Yeah. Like you can't name the other than the first one, which had main event talent from like Adam Page and Adam Cole involved in that 4-way, but 2023 it was an older Tanahashi challenging MJF. 2024 was Broken Down Naito versus Moxley as the champion, and then 2025 it was Nigel McGuinness going after the title. So yeah, I respect Tsuji for saying, nah, I'm not interested in all of that. And he continues all the words that he's said about AEW since he became a top guy.
Yeah, 100%. But for that, with that being said, Shooter retains. No diff.
There we go. Maggie?
I think that definitely Shota Umino retains his championship here. But concerning the Death Riders, this feels like the faction that has the two grossly most underrated people in AEW, Claudio Castagnoli and Pac. Like the two of them, I'm just incredibly in love with Cesaro / Claudio throughout my entire wrestling viewing history. You cannot possibly not love Claudio. Like when he did the Swiss cyborg gimmick with the 007 thing in WWE with the suit, he did a springboard corkscrew uppercut wearing a suit. And if that didn't sell you, also the bar, people keep pretending that the bar wasn't over. The bar was great.
Yeah.
The bar was great. Cesaro teaming up with Nakamura was great. For some reason it ended. He did get the huge WrestleMania match with Seth Rollins that fucking slapped. But like, yeah, he got to AEW. He tapped out Chris Jericho with the swing. I will never forget that. It's iconic. But yeah, feels like he's just there now. It's exactly like Pac. I feel like Pac should have been world champion, at least like for once. That's the amount of love I have for Pac. I know that he hasn't been pushed, and that's the thing, you know, that's the problem. But man, I don't know if the match is gonna be a killer one. You know, hopefully it is, but it's a easy win for Shota Umino in my point of view. You know, one win for New Japan. That's your sure one.
Yeah. I think that this is the title to have on the line there. Now, when I said 2023, I was thinking of Tanahashi challenging for the AEW World Title. King Potate was right in the chat. It was Sonata versus Jack Perry. Yeah, that right there would have made me not want to bring the IWGP Heavyweight Title to an AEW show ever in life. But yes, we got Dion who says Suji has the more of the protective of his spot mentality that a lot of top guys have. Ospreay is a giving guy, so he doesn't get it. He's not protective of his spot. Yeah, that has something to do with it as well. Yeah, but I don't hate that. I am going with Shota Umino to pick up the victory. This to me feels like the easiest kind of bet on the card. Then we got for the AEW Continental Championship, Jon Moxley of the Death Riders will defend against Ring of Honor World Champion Bandido. Bandido scored a win next to Brody King, Brodito, over the Death Riders, Moxley, and Daniel Garcia on the June 17th AEW Dynamite, which led to Bandido's challenging Mox for his title. Mox agreed, but he told Bandido that he's asking for a little bit more than he can handle. And he proved that by scoring a win in trios action next to Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta over Brodito and Mystico on AEW Dynamite this week. Can Bandido finally end his losing streak on AEW pay-per-views this year, or will Moxley continue his reign of terror with the Continental Championship? I'll go first. LOL, Moxley wins. Maggie?
What reign of terror are you talking about? Like, it's been wonderful.
It's just the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Like, miss me with this. And the Death Riders have just basically became the Blackpool Combat Club. Because the Blackpool Combat Club had this whole tweener thing going for them in 2023, where they were heels on Dynamite and baby faces on Collision. And we don't even get that anymore with the Death Riders. They have one fucking show on Dynamite this week where they are heels against Brodito and Mystico. Then they're a babyface with Ospreay against El Fantasmo. And then they're a babyface with Danny Garcia against Swerve Strickland. I just can't do it. I can't do it with the whole, we're babyfaces here, we're heels this time. And it's great to have a faction that can go against anyone on your roster. And I think that's the main reason why they are in this state. It's just really difficult to tell coherent stories with a faction like this and with a leader like Moxley.
You know, I disagree. I don't agree with that at all. I think that that's very binary. Like, it doesn't need to fall on the train tracks of babyface or heel for me to kind of get enjoyment out of what they're doing, particularly with this weird Daniel Garcia trying to be Will Ospreay's little brother thing, which just fucking amuses the life out of me. It's kind of these little, like I said before, they're not wrestling stories. They don't seem to fit on this wrestling show, but they go out there, they have matches that entertain me, the segments entertain me, the story entertains me. I get if there's a technical reason why people are mad about it or whatever, and I certainly agree with the idea
it's doing nothing for Will Ospreay.
Yeah, I agree with the idea that we should be heating up that Ospreay thing.
It's damaging the way we look at Will Ospreay, who's supposed to be the big baby face coming up in 2 months, and he does not feel like that whatsoever. Because of this.
I wouldn't say damaging, but I certainly think that
I think it is damaging because the tickets ain't moving, and we all know it's Ospreay at Wembley Stadium, but tickets ain't moving because you got him in this weird fucking story where he's with the heel stable.
Yeah, I don't know. Tickets weren't moving before that either. But
this story started when the tickets came out.
Like I said,
the tickets went on sale when Will Ospreay came back, so the story started then. And they
at the end of the day, though, all those things could be true, but when I'm watching this, I'm smiling, and if it's entertaining the audience of one, I'm good. That's why it's like, I mean, you're right, you're probably right, but when I sit down and watch that shit, I enjoy it. So I mean, I can only speak for me right now, where it's like I like this shit. I do agree that I'm confused about the structure of, like, because I thought he would overcome the final test or whatever final thing Moxley wants to teach him before getting the shot at the title. You'd be ready, like, you're the babyface now, you're the big guy, you're the top guy, go do it now. So I was like confused that he's gonna win the shot at the title and still be like learning or with the Death Riders or whatever this thing is. This is where I'm like, okay, now what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you actually doing? Like, what is this now? Because this is where the structure falls apart for me now. Like, I want to see what comes next. I don't have no idea what the fuck you're gonna do with this. I assumed it would end with a match between Moxley and Ospreay again. But I thought that would come before he got
probably gonna happen at Redemption.
That's why I'm saying that's backwards. That doesn't even make sense. That I'm like, what the fuck is that? But like I said, up until now, it's kept a smile on my face. There's a lot of, I watch a lot of wrestling, and there are a lot of other storylines that take the smile from my face and make me want to rip my eyeballs out of my head. So I like the ones that I enjoy.
This one frustrates me the most because I know it can be good. They're just not going the route that they need to make it good. That's why I get annoyed by this storyline more than any other. I'm sorry, Maggie. Go ahead. I think you're muted. There you go.
Yeah, I unmuted myself. I have to start remembering to bring popcorn on these prediction shows when we have one more or two more people, on the, because you guys tend to do that, and I'm just and it doesn't work with cashews because like it gets in my teeth. Yeah. So I'm going with Moxley to win here. I understand where you guys are, coming from when it comes to Moxley and the Death Riders as a whole, specifically SP3. I don't mind it. Like I don't necessarily need for someone to be a clear heel or clear babyface because, like, I feel like this gives the main characters of the stable, some depth. Because it's kind of close to in real life, because like you're not good or bad in real life, like you have layers to your character, and I think that there's room for characters like this in wrestling. Not all of them, don't get me wrong. If we have one stable that is exactly like that, I think that's bearable. I feel like everyone's booing the crap out of Wheeler Yuta, so that's great. That's great, so He's the one to get booed all the time. Daniel Garcia is the one taking the pins all the time. Claudio and Pac are, the assassins, who for whatever reason don't win like anything. And then Moxley is the leader. But like people boo Moxley, but people cheer for Moxley at the same time. Will Ospreay is there, so people have no idea what to think anymore. But people love Ospreay, but he's kind of been wrestling like a heel a bunch, which is weird. And then he goes ahead and falls at the beginning of Dynamite, which I fucking cackled.
It was like a microcosm of how I feel about this storyline right there. It was like, yeah, you guys, like, this was by accident, but you guys have actively been making him look like a dork for weeks.
Yeah.
When his big thing during the Swerve promo is, it was Swerve's like, well, you're working with the people that we fought against. He's like, well, they're helping my ground game. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at you like you're fucking dumb. Like, what? No one else can help you with your ground game?
He's a cheater. He likes the cheating. He doesn't want to admit it to himself. He's a bad guy. There you go.
I also understand that I still have no idea where this is going. Will Ospreay aligning himself with the Death Riders? I have no idea where this is going. I kind of want to say that I have faith in them, that they're gonna make sense, because up until now it makes no sense. Sweetie, Will, I know you're explaining yourself, but you're really not, because like they're just helping me doesn't work. That shit doesn't work. They tried to murder you a year ago. So you aligning with them makes no sense. And, if you're aligning with them and, keeping it casual, that's one thing. But like, you guys act like you're best friends now. So it's just weird. And I get it. I have faith that they're going to explain it and, give us, reason to care at some point. But, it's just after he wins the Owen, I'm going to need for stuff to start happening, because we have one more pay-per-view, Redemption. What's Will Ospreay going to do at Redemption?
Exactly. It's going to be interesting. Dion with a good point here. He says, I was at Revolution, and that guy that returned and attacked the Death Riders is the guy I need to see. And maybe AEW is like, okay, we don't want to do the traditional guy comes back and he runs roughshod, he wins the big matchup to get the title shot at the pay-per-view. But you literally are doing the same story, just insert the Death Riders instead, that you did last year with Kenny Omega coming back from injury. Kenny Omega wasn't 100% coming back from injury. He was selling his stomach in every feud, in every matchup that he had, but he was able to overcome, win the international championship. Then he just lost to Okada. Then he was gone for again. And I guess because they were never able to really tell the completed story of that, they were like, well, we're going to do it with Ospreay now, and now we're going to have the Death Riders involved, so the team that took him out and broke his neck is going to help him rebuild it. It's full circle storytelling, and it's so contextual.
Cinema.
It's like Triple H is talking about, he's like, it's fantastical, it's all this stuff, and it's just it's been very just convoluted in execution. Well, it's you still got 2 months. Is the bright side.
Yes.
But bringing that back around to Moxley versus Bandido, I think the reason why we went into this whole soliloquy about the storyline is because it's quite obvious Moxley's winning.
Yeah. It'd be cool if Bandido won, though. I mean, it'd be really cool. Bandido is
one more title for him not to defend. Okay.
That's a problem. That fucking other belt is on his waist, so that's why I know he's losing.
We already have one problem in this faction. That's Marina Shafir. We don't need another problem.
Also, this was definitely supposed to be Callum Newman. Okay, and I don't know if it would have been a title on the line or not, but this they were saying, okay, Newman was originally supposed to be involved in something at All In, and I mean at Forbidden Door, and this match got put together in a second. Like fuck, this
Yeah.
like they threw together Bandido out of nowhere. Like fuck, we got.
And they did that on last week's show.
Yeah,
and they literally announced that matchup like 30 minutes before the show started last week.
Yep. So I've gone with the theory that there was supposed to be a Callum Newman Jon Moxley match because there was so much about the fucking United Empire and the Death Riders, and we never got to finish bring that full circle. So I definitely feel,
and it would have worked as well, especially with the finish to this week, where you could have had Callum Newman on Dynamite this week questioning Will, like, yo, you stopped me from using a chair in my world title match. I didn't use a chair in my world title match, and I lost at Dominion. And your partners over here, the guys you hanging out with every week, just use their title in a trios matchup. You okay with them cheating, but you getting mad at me for cheating?
Yeah, I actually didn't think about how the Callum Newman thing probably would have tied into Ospreay's story right now with the Death Riders too, because Swerve is basically telling him some of the same things Newman is saying. Like, so what? Omega
before him, Omega after Double or Nothing was like, why are you working with them? I do like the fact that's the one part of this story that I have enjoyed is Omega and Swerve calling them out, and the stuff that Ospreay's been doing in New Japan and how that's kind of affected his relationship with United Empire. Those parts have been well. Moxley giving fucking Carl Winslow monologues to Ospreay. I'm good on that. I don't see fucking Jon Moxley as my TV dad. I'm sorry.
Now that I'm thinking about it, if they want to bring it together, whatever pieces that they lost, you should probably lean into the idea that Will Ospreay is becoming a heel by accident or something. Like he's wearing black, he's got the chains on and all that. He's there. You can make it that Moxley was manipulating him all along, and you can probably pull something out of that. But now that I'm trying to like think it all the way through to Kenny Omega at All In, you can probably do something like that.
Big Man Dog says, Kenny Omega and Swerve calling out Ospreay is good, but it makes me want to see Omega or Swerve in the main event of all.
Good luck. Well, you're in luck because I have a feeling one of those guys is going to be in the main event.
You're in luck. You will get one. All right, now moving on to the matchup that I think has been built the best going into Forbidden Door. Thekla will defend the AEW Women's World Championship against Stardom's Starlight Kid. Of course, Thekla came to AEW last year after she was fired from Stardom by Toru Okada. Of course, over her time in AEW, it's been mentioned a few times that she got kicked out of Japan. Of course, there was the funny promo that she had with Alex Windsor where she was like, I didn't get kicked out of Japan. Okay, I got fired from Japan, but who cares? Then ahead of Forbidden Door, she heard about Stardom coming to AEW and says that she wouldn't stand for that. So she declared death upon Stardom. Over the last couple of weeks, we've seen Thekla spit on the Stardom logo. Then she showed up in Stardom at their conversion show to once again attack Toru Okada. She went to spit on the logo in the ring again before Okada dived and put his body in front of the logo. This led to Thekla whipping him with her own belt until Starlight Kid made the save and stopped Thekla from spitting on the logo and raised the AEW Women's World Championship while Thekla was removed from the arena forcefully. I think that Thekla has been done the best promo work heading into this show and really got me interested in a match that otherwise I wouldn't. And for the first time in a while, we feel like we have a promotional war. At least it's with one person, but it doesn't matter. That's more than we've gotten in the last couple of Forbidden Door editions. So Thekla versus Starlight Kid. What have you thought about the build? Who do you think wins, Maggie?
I love Thekla so much. The thing is here, I can't wait for people to cheer for Thekla like a babyface. I feel because like she's so good as a heel that I actually want people to cheer for her as a babyface. Like I can't even fathom what her as a babyface looks like. Like she'll continue, calling everyone bitches, but like they're bad bitches or stupid bitches. The other thing is our friend Doc Chris Mueller interviewed Thekla this week. I don't know when the interview will be out. I don't know if it's out now, but I did listen to it. It was fucking amazing. So go ahead and listen to it when you get the chance. I'm trying not to mark out because she answered a question of mine. Like that's and it's a stupid girly woman question, okay? Like it has nothing to do with wrestling. So if you're, there's a reason why I don't interview people. That's because I just want to know things that I want to know and don't care about, wrestling fans like whatsoever. I just have my own types of questions. So I understand that this is a promotional feud. And for me, this is the only match that actually promotes Forbidden Door as a Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Thekla will definitely win here. I know people have been loving Starlight Kid, and I can't wait to see what their dynamic is because I haven't seen them, wrestle each other. I don't know if they have wrestled each other. I'm sure they have. They have, yeah. So I just want to see what this looks like in an AEW ring. I think it's pretty sure that Thekla retains here. It's the best built match towards a Forbidden Door pay-per-view, but I think it's clearly obvious who's winning here.
John?
Yeah, Thekla's definitely gonna retain here, but I think Thekla's unique connection to Stardom and knowing how Stardom works, having just kind of knowing that the worst thing you could do is spit on that logo and disrespect the Japanese like that. Like, she was in the best position this year and she took advantage of it, as she keeps on doing every time she finds an opportunity in AEW. And she's like waving the flag on all these interviews and everything, like, I only ever wanted to come here. And it's like, man, she's gonna be a star here for a long time. It's gonna be great. Starlight Kid, I love Starlight Kid. They're gonna have a great match here, even though I don't like in Stardom. People used to talk shit about Thekla all the time, like the fan base. The fan base used to shit on Thekla because she was more character than some of the other girls. Her character is more American. I mean, not American. Like, it's just more westernized, more television style than
she is Luna Vachon's Austrian daughter.
Yeah, essentially. They didn't mesh well to the fan base, but I always felt like it was fine. So this match is going to be great. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this. And like you guys said, she's carried the energy of Forbidden Door. She's fanning the flame. God damn it, it's great.
I feel like she's really elevated herself with her promos heading into this pay-per-view, where I will go as far as to say I no longer think Mercedes Monè should be the babyface if they face each other at All In. I really think it's Thekla. Thekla has that cool, badass babyface feel to her now with her promos and everything. She doesn't need to change her character.
The problem is that if you don't shift, if Thekla ends up being so much cooler than Mercedes, then you end up with a Mercedes problem on the other side when she takes the belts.
But they have done their due diligence by keeping Mercedes here, because they could have easily had her be a babyface upon her return. But I think they can tell that Tekla's getting over, and if that's the plan for All In, I feel like they should push in that direction even further and be like, Tekla's the babyface, Mercedes is the permanent heel in this situation.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, now talking about another Forbidden Door matchup. It's AEW versus NJPW as we get a rematch from the G1 Climax 28 8 years ago. It was Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kenny Omega for the first time in a New Japan ring, and 8 years later, we get it for the first time in an AEW ring. ZSJ versus Omega. Zack Sabre Jr. has become a staple of Forbidden Door, so he was returning yet again, and he wanted to issue a challenge to one of the greatest wrestlers in the world, Kenny Omega. Omega accepted, saying that he feels that Zack is his path back to the AEW World Championship. Omega was confronted by Zack and TMDK, where he said that they don't even know what TMDK stands for and they don't have a catchphrase. Then this past week, we saw Zack beat Jack Perry in a great matchup, while Omega made the save for the Young Bucks when they got jumped by TMDK. And Omega proceeded to say that everybody's going to forget about Zack like they did last year. And Zack told Kenny to stay out of the hospital. Not the best promo work heading into this Darling. It was actually Darling. Not the best promo work in my regards, but this is not about the promo work. This is about one of those. Put the graphic up. Everybody knows it's going to be killer, and this is going to be a killer match. Maggie, what do you think wins on Sunday?
Listen, because of the lack of Zack Sabre Jr. promo work heading towards this match, I'm just gonna go ahead and give it 2 pennies. Okay, this sucks. Okay, and that's your fault.
Fair.
I think Kenny Omega wins here because he's on the way towards his redemption. I do think that we're heading towards Kenny Omega versus MJF at redemption, when Kenny wins the championship, and then we go to Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay at All In at Wembley. And
will that make you regret not going to Wembley?
No, I'm not going. I'm sorry. Like, actually, I don't think I've shared this with you, but when there are killer matches and matches that I actually am looking forward to, and are dream matches of mine, I prefer watching them at home because like, listen, if I'm not at front row, I can't see shit. It's like, I understand, but like, it's I know it's a different sort of experience. I understand, but if I want to be completely locked in on the match, I have to watch it on, on television.
I can
at home.
You on that.
Yeah, because like I've been watching wrestling on the television my entire life and not in person. So I'm completely spoiled when it comes to watching matches because they're showing me what I'm supposed to be looking at.
Yeah.
As opposed to me, oh, look at all the people. Oh my God. Because it's Wembley. And like I'm damn it, I'm supposed to be watching the match. And like I swear it's not an ADHD thing. I do not have that. Like I haven't been tested, but I have studied psychology and I happen to know that I don't. But I'm just easily distracted when it's like 60,000 people around me. So I don't think that this counts as, the attention deficit disorder. But Kenny Omega wins here. I'm appalled that Zack, only said, a couple of things. It's gross that he wasn't given an opportunity to actually speak and try to bury Kenny Omega, because Kenny Omega did exactly that, like you previously said. Try not to try to stay away from hospital love. And he wasn't even supposed to say that because they were playing Kenny's song. Yeah. They were playing Kenny's song. He just, decided to take things into his own hands. And I'm like, you go. Like, they didn't even want to give you that. And it's appalling that you have Zack Sabre Jr. in one of your big matches, a part of the Forbidden Door, and you just don't give him mic time.
Agreed.
It's like, it's proving Kenny Omega's point. And, like, I know we're supposed to be cheering for Kenny Omega, but, like... I'm gonna be emotionally torn, but I'm picking Kenny Omega because of the storyline. If I didn't think that Kenny Omega was heading towards the championship match, I would have been rooting the crap out of Zack Sabre Jr. for this match because he deserves that.
I agree.
Prayers for Kate.
John, who you got on Sunday?
Well, Kenny Omega's definitely gonna win. I'm just kind of more interested in what kind of match they're gonna have, how long they're gonna get. It seems like they should be getting enough time to give like a full on classic because I feel like that's their position on the card here. Yeah, Kenny's got to get the win. They've also got to deliver like a fucking incredible match. Like I was worried about it, but then I saw the match he had with Jack Perry on Dynamite, and I was like, oh, hey, they're gonna have to top, like they're gonna have to do a big thing. Okay, this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. The build was atrocious. This build was fucking horrible. I was very, very bothered by the first week where Kenny comes out, they cut the promo, and they're all like awkwardly standing there. It's like nobody's like trying to beat him up or anything.
So
They did nothing. They did nothing.
Why do they only have one mic that Kenny is only allowed to use, but Zack can't use it? Like this is weird.
And then the Elite come out, and it's like, well, they weren't even going to beat him up. So you guys didn't need to be here, but that's cool that he has friends.
And like he slid in the microphone in the ring, and then he took it away. And I'm like, what?
I don't know. I don't know what was. I'm like I said, like we've said before. Sometimes they really, really lean on the fact that like you know what you came here for.
Yeah. This is the Okada Takeshita of this month's pay-per-view.
But it's like, god damn it, a little bit of effort on these builds would be highly appreciated. Okay.
I wonder if this is Zack Sabre Jr. saying, "Well, I know I'm losing, and I'm not gonna, put much effort."
Promo in they did a digital exclusive
video package. Yeah.
And it was like full effort. 2 minutes, and it was like, well, why the fuck wasn't that on TV?
Exactly. But like I feel like Zack Sabre Jr. is like, well, this isn't gonna put me over. This is just so Kenny Omega can be put over and have a storyline leading into another pay-per-view. And he's like, nah, I'm not gonna waste my words. I'm gonna go ahead and have a killer match and then just go home. I feel like that's what this is.
That would work against him because if you want to be brutally honest, I think New Japan saw his attempt at Top Guy as a failure, and they're not going to go with that again. Like, I don't think ever. I think like several people would have to be injured before they ever go that route again. And he's they just put him in this slot where he's going to help get newer guys over. He's going to help get Oiwa over. It's just what it is. So if you get this opportunity, he should have been given the opportunity to cut a great promo here on Dynamite in front of this crowd here. This is why I don't believe that stuff about Tony Khan poaching New Japan or whatever. Because if I'm Tony Khan and I wanted to poach New Japan, I would be slide Zack Sabre Jr. some fucking time real fast on TV, see how the crowd gets him, see if he likes being on the show. He
sure as hell did that for Will Ospreay.
You know what I'm saying?
Will Ospreay, I'll tell you where Will Ospreay earned his contract for AEW. It was right before the Wembley show when he cut that promo on Jericho in 2023. That's where Will Ospreay was already one of the best wrestlers in the world, but seeing him on national TV and he cuts this killer promo for 5 minutes and he comes off as the everyday bruv, and Tony just saw dollar signs on his screen, and that's why he signed him literally just a few months later. And Zack could have had that opportunity, but they didn't even give it to him.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm just completely disappointed. It is what it is, though. Like they know, unfortunately, this is what I came here for. They're gonna fucking deliver it, and I'm gonna walk out of that fucking building like, wow, I love these guys. They're love bombing me, is what they're doing. I'm being abused.
There shouldn't even be a question. We got King Potato says, unless Zack has outright said it, I feel like he just doesn't want to go to AEW. You don't have to feel it. He has literally said that he doesn't want to go to AEW. He wants to be in Japan.
He's fine in Japan too. Like, he's got a life, like people.
WWE tried to sign him to a contract 10 years ago, and he said no. Like he's perfectly fine in New Japan.
It's not always. It's not like, I know for a lot of people it is about getting the big lights, the big bucks or whatever. Like, it's not always about that. Some people are just really happy getting to wrestle and living where they are. You know, like I would be really fucking happy living in Japan and wrestling. I'll tell you that much. It's a nice place.
Same story, true story.
You can never know what people are drawn to, like what their motivation is. Like you can, like for people like us, it's money. I understand. You know, it's security. You know, because like we're not rich, and like family security. You know, the it's that. But like for people like those, for people like them, we have no idea what drives them. So yeah.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about the triple main event. First up, we'll talk about the matchup that many people thought was closing the show. I don't think so. John doesn't think so, but we'll see. It's going to be a 12-man steel cage matchup. Team DCMJF. Maxwell Jacob Freeman, the AEW World Champion, teaming up with the TNT Champion, Kevin the Jet Knight. Kyle Fletcher, the Protostar, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, Jake Doyle, and Andrade El Idolo versus Team Briscoe. Mark Briscoe, his conglomeration stablemates, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and Orange Cassidy, the AEW World Trio Champions. AEW International Champion Konosuke Takeshita, and former AEW World Champion Darby Allin. Mark Briscoe was the first man to step up to MJF after he won the world title for a third time at Double or Nothing over Darby Allin. He made the challenge to him, which MJF said no, saying that he's not championship material. Over the last couple of weeks, we've seen Briscoe score wins over Blackheart, Leo Rush, and Pac. He had a conversation with Tony Khan, which made a 12-man tag official inside of a steel cage. And if Mark Briscoe wins with his team, then he will earn an opportunity at the AEW World Championship. MJF had to pay money and make a deal with the Don Callis family to fill out the rest of his team. Kevin Knight has said that he will only team with MJF if he gets a future shot at the AEW World title. Meanwhile, Andrade El Idolo has been searching for his world title shot since he got to AEW at the start of the year. And we saw on Wednesday, MJF accidentally punched Andrade with the Dynamite Diamond ring, and before Mark Briscoe dropped the champion with the Jade Driller. Can he do it again on Sunday and earn a shot at the AEW World title, or will MJF deny Mark Briscoe yet again? John, who you got, and what have you thought about this build?
It's certainly one of the builds with the most effort. I'll give him that. It's I don't know how I feel. Like, I love Mark Briscoe. He's not exactly pushed as the guy to carry this type of story like into a pay-per-view. So at least it was like, it was a multi-man match. So I like it. I'm of many minds of it because I really love Mark Briscoe. And if you're in a situation where you're not building to like a pay-per-view world title match and your idea is to blow it off on TV, then why not give it to Mark Briscoe? Because I love Mark Briscoe. But if I wouldn't blame people who don't feel the energy in that world title situation. Like I wouldn't be mad at you. I wouldn't disagree with you if you're like, why is Mark Briscoe in this spot or whatever? Because he's not pushed that way. And that's not me calling for him to be pushed that way. I'm just saying that objectively he's not. So that's why it's going to feel flat for some people. I look at the people in this match though, and I'm just like, I got nothing to complain about. Like, I'm going to look at this shit. Like, look at the guys in this match. It's going to be insane. So I really enjoy the tag match that they had. What was it, last week, 2 weeks ago, where the fucking heels had all this stuff going on. Like they had all the, nobody could get along, but it wasn't just like random chaos. Like there was very pointed things going on. I was like, I don't know, I'm really enjoying this, but I would understand if you're not, because Mark Briscoe is one of the leading characters in the story, and maybe you're not feeling that. I wouldn't blame you. I'm enjoying it though, and this match is going to be fucking unbelievable. So I mean, they already introduced the idea that they're bringing book bags full of weapons. Oh shit! Here we go. Here we fucking go. This is gonna be great. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think this match is gonna be killer. I am going with I'm going with Team DCMJF. I just go
Yeah.
by Wrestling 101
Yeah.
and the
Well,
fact that they
Briscoe.
gave us the MJF and Andrade not getting along and costing them, and MJF getting dropped with the J Driller on the Go Home show. It makes me feel
Yeah.
like, oh, you're giving me this now because you're not giving me this at the pay-per-view. So I'll
I
go
have
with
to agree.
DCMJF.
And it's also because they have so much going on. They have so many stories that can kick off from that, like from Kevin Knight getting a title shot and Andrade not getting a title shot, and all the other guys, and whatever the fuck is going on with Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero. It's like a background thing, but it's like slowly developing into a foreground thing. I was like, what is this now? What the fuck? There's so many things going on in this goddamn family. But I'm glad because he's got 16 guys in the fucking group. So if you are gonna have that many guys in the group, I'm glad there's so much going on in there. Like, what the fuck? It's fun though.
Maggie, who you got here?
This match is a travesty. It's an insult to my wrestling fandom. Wow. Team Mark Briscoe wins. I fucking hate it here.
It's because it's got Darby involved, guys. That's why she feels this way. Then we got in the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament Finals, Mercedes Monè will go up against Maya World. These two ladies were not scheduled to be in the Owen Hart Cup this year. Mercedes Monè was the wild card, replacing Willow Nightingale, who suffered a shoulder injury, while Maya World replaced Sarai, who was replaced due to a neck injury. Mercedes beat Alex Windsor and Hazuki in one of the best women's matches of the year to go to the finals, while Maya World beat Skye Blue and finally beat Athena, her mentor and trainer, to get to the finals. Mercedes sent a message with an attack alongside Athena following the semifinals matchup, and now the stage is set for Maya World, who is fighting with all the motivation in the world coming off the heels of the passing of her brother, all the inspiration, all the Cinderella story vibes for Maya World versus the odds-on favorite to win back-to-back Owen Hart Cups, Mercedes Monè. Maggie, what have you thought about the tournament and who wins on Sunday?
I've enjoyed the tournament. The fact that these two women weren't even scheduled to be a part of it is just a bit mind-boggling to me. My heart breaks for Maya because everything that she's dealing with, I feel like this is the thing that keeps her together right now. You know, this tournament, people falling so deeply in love with her and everything that she's doing. I didn't think that she was going to beat Athena. I thought it was going to be Athena versus Mercedes Monè at the finals of the tournament, but I was pleasantly surprised. I don't think that they mentioned on AEW television that Maya was the one to get Athena's number, you know, but it's I'm looking forward to this match because I don't know what these two look like in the ring together. It on paper it should be a slammer of a match. But I'm gonna go ahead and say Mercedes Monè. I feel like the story is there with her and Thekla. For me personally, I think that this will be a killer match for All In. This doesn't mean that I'm not rooting for Maya like at all. But even in defeat, she gets out. She's definitely the winner of this tournament, even in defeat, because like everyone was talking about her. She was the underdog throughout the entire thing. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say Mercedes Monè. Could I say my 2 cents about the other main event just so I can?
Yeah, I was gonna say give your prediction for the men's tournament too.
Yeah, I think it's obvious that I'm gonna say Will Ospreay, but for me, this is the true main event for the show. It has nothing to do with Forbidden Door. It's the most unforbidden doory thing. It's a permission door match. So it's like but Will Ospreay and Strickland is gonna slap all sorts of ass. I can't wait. I think that this is a clear win for Will. I hope that it's a clear win. No Prince Nana, no Death Riders or anything. Just give us a clear match, a clean finish, because I feel like this is what the fans want. We know that this is going to be a 5-star match, so might as well just give it to us. That's what I want to see from a show that it's like sort of all over the place. But yeah, I'm hoping that it has little to none shenanigans, because come on, it's Prince Nana. We all know that, you know, with the chain and everything, it's okay. But minimal shenanigans if it's possible. Guys, thank you so much for having me on.
Kind. All right, let me give you the spotlight so you can give your outro.
Thank you guys so much for having me on the show. You guys know by now that I fucking enjoy these. You can follow me on Twitter, Twix, X, whatever, at Maggie_IK, and on Instagram at Maggie.IK. In a couple of minutes, join me on Fightful Overbook with Rob for Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. We're going to be eating ice cream and celebrating the final episode of SmackDown with a 3-hour, durance. And we're so happy about it, and everything that gives us an excuse to talk about SmackDown, because it fucking sucks, because it's 3 hours, but it's no more. Considering next week, so that's gonna be fun. We're gonna talk about all the predictions for all the shows that we have this weekend, apart from TNA, because we don't talk about TNA. But yes, thank you so much, guys. Please subscribe to Fightful Select on Patreon. The easiest money you're ever gonna spend on wrestling is cheaper than any Starbucks or Costa coffee. And also, that's not coffee. Drink regular espresso, please. Dickholes. Thank you so much for having me.
Dickholes. Damn. All right. We love you, Maggie.
Guys. Bye.
Bye. All right, John. On to you. Mercedes versus Maya. What have you thought about the tournament? Who do you think wins on Sunday? I didn't say before, but I've loved the women's tournament of the Owen. I think overall the men's matches have been more consistently great, but I don't know if I loved any of those matches like I loved Mercedes versus Suzuki or Maya World versus Athena.
Yep. I gotta agree with you. I mean, like, because we're watching so many freaking American tournaments this month,
tournaments in general. If you go to New Japan, we just came off.
Oh, just right, the Super Juniors. Jesus Christ, it never ends. But the women's Owen Cup, particularly because of those two matches, puts it above all the others. Mercedes and Suzuki is like you said, one of the best women's matches of the year. That's why I was bugging out. What they got. I've never get caught up in Dave Meltzer's ratings, but I was like, whoa, what the fuck was that NXT women's tag match? Holy shit. And I went and checked it out, and I was like, oh, it was a match. It was a match. Dude, I've literally learned. I was like, yeah, he's really trying to get over this Kendall Lane love. Really, like too much. Because man, like, I'm not like I didn't say anything about the Suzuki Mercedes rating because I gave it 4 3/4. He gave it 4.5. But it's a 4 3. It's closer to 4 3/4 than 4.5. That's just me. And the fact that he gave that the same rating as that fucking good tag team matchup, it was just like, all right, dude. Yeah. Yep. Okay. But yeah, so I expect, because both of them were in the 2 best matches of the tournament, I expect this one to be fucking outstanding. And man, congratulations to My World, for real. Like, just all around, like, this is like proof that hard work is what pays off. Like, it's insane the opportunities that she's been given just by showing up. Like, that's what you got to do. Just make it enough to show up. Everything else will fall into place if you are prepared when the opportunity is there. The fucking tag team situation in the beginning, all the way up to now. And we're just hoping Hyan can catch up or something because she's about to get left in the dust. Holy shit.
Yo, for real. Like, Maya World has improved her stock quite a bit here.
Yeah. And she's got an opportunity. I don't know. I know they taped Collision already, so I don't know what that match is going to be like, but she'll be involved with Athena and Mercedes and Maya World in a tag match. So hopefully it's really, really good. And she takes an opportunity to remind people that she also is here. But also Nixon Newell has to be somewhere. She's got to have stopped watching wrestling.
She got to be punching the air.
It's like she doesn't watch this. Oh, I don't watch that stuff anymore. I don't care about that.
She's like, I'm retiring anyway, so it's not really that. It's not that big of a deal.
Doesn't bother me. They doing it to spite me.
They're just doing that to spite me. You know, I'm not gonna watch the show.
But yeah, man, this is gonna be awesome. And yeah, she's gonna lose, but she is so early in her career in this company right now that just being here is enough to be like super over after this. Like, man, that's Maya World. She came out of nowhere. She took it all the way to the end of the tournament. She's great. She's great. So it's going to be up to AEW to follow up with consistently having her on TV. And I mean, she doesn't have to be in like, I'm not saying she got to go after the world title, but in a storyline, in a situation.
Just like using her and Hyan in the tag team division, having them pick up some like non-title wins to set up another challenge of Divine Dominion. Like there's so many routes. The TBS title is now wide open. There's going to be a new champion crowned on Wednesday. That should probably, I think that Maya World should probably be the one who dethrones whoever wins the title at All In. Honestly, ride the momentum while you can.
Even more immediately, I think that they should heat up a high end of Maya World like hard, and they should go into them as tag team champions. Like they should be Divine Dominion. Like I know it's like, oh my god, they're big or whatever, but they're tag team titles. They'll be okay. I
wouldn't mind if they did like a 3-way. All In with Brawling Birds and Divine Dominion and those two. Yeah.
Hell yeah. So I mean, this is awesome. Great for Maya, and she's gonna take the L here, but it's gonna be an excellent performance, and she's gonna take Mercedes to the limit, and we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah, but I'm just so happy for her because I said this when I made my whole pitch to, I think it was you and Josh, that Maya World should win. I was like, who gets more out of losing to Mercedes in the finals? And like I said, I was like, it's Maya World. It's definitely Maya World. Athena losing to Mercedes in the finals does nothing for her whatsoever like it will for Maya World.
That's why she should have won.
She was never gonna win. I'm sick of this. She was never gonna win. She was never gonna win. All right. Finally, we have the finals of the men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Swerve Strickland will go one-on-one with Will Ospreay. These two men are no strangers to one another. 2 years ago at Forbidden Door, also in the main event, they faced each other for the AEW World title where Swerve picked up the win. Last year at Summer Blockbuster, they faced again, going to a 30-minute time limit draw. That matchup, though, set up them to become tag team partners and fight alongside Hangman Adam Page against the united forces of the Death Riders and the Young Bucks. It led to Swerve and Ospreay defeating the Young Bucks to dethrone them as the EVPs of All Elite Wrestling at All In Texas. They fought side by side against the Death Riders, but a lot has changed in the past year as Will Ospreay was taken out by the Death Riders at last year's Forbidden Door, and now he's working with the Death Riders. He is allies with the Death Riders, and they helped him to rebuild his neck and to work on his ground game, so he was able to defeat Samoa Joe at Double or Nothing and Mark Davis in the semifinals to make it back to the finals of the Owen Hart Cup after losing to Hangman Adam Page in the finals at last year's Double or Nothing. Meanwhile, for Swerve Strickland, he was out of action with a knee injury following Forbidden Door. He came back at the end of 2025 with his eyes set on the AEW World Championship. He only got one opportunity in a 4-way at World's End that was won by the current champion, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF. Then in February, due to Kenny Omega getting in the way of his path to the title, he turned heel. He went into this bitter rivalry with Kenny Omega, losing his #1 contendership to him ahead of Dynasty. Then following ahead of Double or Nothing, he made his return, called out Bandido, went on to beat him in the quarterfinals, and then beat his tag team partner Brody King in the semifinals to head to the finals of the tournament. And Swerve was one of the few people who has questioned Will for his decision-making aligning with the Death Riders, saying that everything they did last year was for nothing. They did it for Hangman to become world champion, but Hangman's not around anymore, and he can't even go after the world title. So they fought tooth and nail for all of that, and it was for nothing. And now he's not going to let Ospreay stand in the way of his journey back to the AEW world title, while Ospreay is fully motivated to realize his dream to headline Wembley Stadium and to win the world title. He talks about how every British kid talks about hitting the winning goal in Wembley Stadium, and now he views this as his World Cup semifinals, but the real finals is at All in London. Who's going to punch their ticket for Wembley Stadium? What have you thought about the build to this matchup, the Owen Hart men's tournament, and who wins on Sunday, John?
That promo, that face-off segment that they did, I loved it. I loved every minute.
I thought that was a money promo.
They took all these hanging plot threads and tied them all together with this promo like that, and I was like, this is why the top guys in the company. This is literally why, because they can do shit like that when the storytellers are missing little parts. They can weave it together. They can pick up what's missing. And I mean, I know that the idea is like, yeah, it does fall on creative, but when the better guys in the company are making better lemonade than you, lemons are giving, I don't know, man. Maybe it's time for you to step up and see what they're doing and try to figure that out. Because the way they were able to do that was awesome. It was like instantly, you fucking sold that with a promo. We took a year's worth of shit they gave us, turned it into money, and sold you on the match that's coming in 2 weeks.
That shit was so good. I felt like it should have been the go home segment. Like, I was disappointed by the go home this week because it wasn't as good as that promo the week prior.
Yeah, it's like, what's this stuff? Like, that's why I was laughing, because they're doing this like little brother thing with Daniel Garcia and Will Ospreay now. I was like, what is this? Like, where did this come from? This is fucking hilarious. He's like using the Styles Clash because he saw Will Ospreay use the Styles Clash, and I was like, this is fucking hilarious. Why are we doing this right now? Before the pay-per-view, now Will Ospreay has to avenge him. Like, man, this is unnecessary. I think they did blow up. I think they did shoot their load too fast, and they were like, I do not have an idea what to do next week.
I think we're gonna do something with Danny Garcia.
Yeah, you guys kind of sold it last week, so we're just gonna have matches. It's like you're just gonna have a match or whatever. And I guess, but they last or 2 Forbidden Doors ago, we had this match. And it was outstanding, but it was also like, I feel like the full 5-star Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland experience. So I expect this one to have shenanigans. Like, I expect this one to have shenanigans at the end.
Okay. But that also had shenanigans involved.
But like more
screwdriver,
because there's so many people involved. Like, that's.
I don't need it to be what
I know. I just expect it, like, because it just like I would prefer they just go straight up. I prefer a straight match. Honestly, that would be the best case scenario. They just straight up do it. Swerve is gonna take a loss here, and this is like his second big loss of the year, so there better be some big follow up from this, and something he can win, but something that it doesn't seem so damn obvious. Like a big win, a big feud, something meaty. I can't even think of it right now. But this is going to be good. I mean, it's going to be great. I have no doubt in my mind Will Ospreay is going to win and go to All In. I also remember sitting down last year and saying the same thing. Like, I have no doubt in my mind.
This is true.
Will
This is
Ospreay's gonna
true.
go to All In.
A lot of us said that last year, and it wasn't. But we have a better shot because it's in Wembley. This one's in Wembley, so we have a better shot here. I am gonna go with Will Ospreay for the victory here. I do expect them to give us like a 5-star instant classic. I feel kind of bad for the Forbidden Door 2024 matchup because that easily would have been like the AEW match of the year if Will did not also have that Bryan Danielson match right before it. And then Bryan had an instant classic with Swerve in the main event of Wembley's. These two individuals was the reason why the match together wasn't the match of the year. So they have another shot to kind of outdo what they did last year and what they did 2 years ago here. And it does have the opportunity because I think like right now for me, my AEW match of the year is probably Okada and Takeshita. I think with these two guys, these are the two guys I think can outdo what those guys did at Double or Nothing based on just their amazing chemistry in the ring together. I do stand by this though. Dion, thanks for saying it in the chat. This match would be so much more compelling if they had been denied a world title shot for a year.
There was no way to know. There was no way to know.
I know, but I'm just saying. We could have had something special here. Special. But yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It was good.
Ospreay.
Oil spray. Okay.
Nice. It sounds like it does actually sound like the way he pronounces it. Not to just say it that way.
Oil spray. Okay. Oil spray. Yeah. And do you think that this is the final match on the show on Sunday?
I think so. I think this is the main event. I certainly would main event with that. I would main event with Will Ospreay in victory, possibly confetti, some pyro, make that shit feel important. Make it feel like All In is here. All In is here. It's All In season. It's time. You know, like we're heat this shit up. Make it feel important. Sell some damn tickets.
It really would put a twist on it because I think right now the debate is between the cage match and this match. If AEW just announces on Sunday that Maya World and Mercedes is the main event, I'm like, oh shit, they really gonna put Maya World in the world title? Just a banner in the works. That's
Holy
what
shit.
I want. I'm all for banners in the fucking works. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting matchup, exciting show overall. And like, despite my and all of our feelings going into this show, we kind of had similar kind of thoughts with the Double or Nothing build as well, and that turned out to be one of the best shows ever. So I expect this one to at least be great, a great show, bell to bell, as far as the wrestling we're gonna see.
This always happens with this damn company.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah, I'll forget about it. You're abusing me though. You're taking advantage now.
Shaking me up here. But we've made it to the end of our Forbidden Door 2026 preview. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us live. Thank you so much to everyone who's watching us on demand. If you haven't already, drop the thumbs up on the video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you are new, hit the bell to stay notified because we're still got more to enjoy for Forbidden Door week. We got the True Heel Heat flagship podcast 1 hour earlier tomorrow, 9:05 a.m. Eastern time. Myself, Miss Chrissy Love, and the True Draw Josh. We're going to do the flagship podcast as your pre-show going into Night of Champions, which starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll be done before that show starts. And then on Sunday, we'll be here for a Night of Champions review. I believe John's going to be there. I believe Josh is going to be there for that. And then me and John will be here on Monday for our Forbidden Door review, and I'm sure we're going to have some special guests for that as well. But thank you so much to everyone who joined us. Thank you so much to Maggie, and thank you so much to the good brother John Escudero of Dirt Sheet Radio for joining us. Let the people know where they can follow you on social media and when they will see you again.
Well, make sure you follow Dirt Sheet Radio on all your favorite social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Definitely, actually, YouTube. I'm gonna upload the damn podcast to the YouTube again. It's been audio only for the past few weeks, but it's because I don't have time to upload the video. So I've made the time. So subscribe to the Dirty Radio YouTube if you can, and find me right here on True Heel Heat on all pay-per-view reviews and some special guest appearances.
Love that. Always love having John on the show. So make sure you join us this weekend as we're going to be reviewing Night of Champions and Forbidden Door. I believe patreon.com/Trio Heat will have a latest episode of GOAT Match Series. Me and Jimmy went back in time to watch Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes. All I will say, it was great in 2019. I don't know about 2026. Yes, watch that. That's going to be on Patreon. Follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSB3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat. Check out all the great stuff we got on the channel. We did previews for all the big shows this weekend. Our TNA Slammiversary preview is up right now. Our WWE Night of Champions and NXT The Great American Bash preview is up right now. If you like AEW content, check out AE Rambo episode 255 with our review of the Go Home Show episode of Dynamite ahead of Forbidden Door. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow, 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time, the True Hill Heat flagship podcast to talk about it all. WWE, AEW, New Japan, Stardom, CMLL, AAA, TNA. We cover it all on the flagship, so join us for that. Thank you so much to John. I'll see you on Sunday. And thank you so much to all of you. For John, for Maggie, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been our AEW, NJPW, Forbidden Door 2026 preview. We are signing off until next time.